Q2194. When approaching to land at an airport without an operating control tower in Class G airspace, the pilot should A. Enter and fly a traffic pattern at 800 feet AGL. B. Make all turns to the left unless otherwise indicated. C. Fly a left-hand traffic pattern at 800 feet AGL. The correct answer is B. When approaching to land at an airport without an operating control tower in Class G airspace, the standard practice is to make all turns to the left in the traffic pattern, unless there are specific indications or instructions to the contrary. Making all turns to the left helps establish a consistent and predictable flow of traffic in the absence of control tower instructions. Most pilots are trained to follow left-hand traffic patterns, and this convention enhances situational awareness and reduces the risk of conflicts or collisions with other aircraft in the pattern. By adhering to left-hand turns, pilots can maintain better visibility of other aircraft and effectively communicate their intentions. This allows for smoother coordination and helps ensure a safe and orderly traffic flow during approach and landing. In summary, when approaching to land at an airport without an operating control tower in Class G airspace, the pilot should make all turns to the left unless otherwise indicated. This practice promotes safety, standardization, and effective traffic management in the absence of control tower instructions. 2002. Entries into traffic patterns while descending create specific collision hazards and A. Should be avoided. B. Should be used whenever possible. C. Are illegal. The correct answer is A. Entries into traffic patterns while descending create specific collision hazards and should be avoided. When aircraft are descending to enter the traffic pattern, they may have different altitudes and speeds compared to other aircraft already established in the pattern. This difference in altitude and speed increases the risk of collision and can lead to potential conflicts. By avoiding descending entries into traffic patterns, pilots can reduce the chances of encountering other aircraft on conflicting paths. It is safer and more efficient to enter the traffic pattern at a consistent altitude, typically at the pattern altitude or as specified in relevant regulations or procedures. Descending entries can be disruptive to the flow of traffic and may cause confusion or unexpected maneuvers for other pilots already in the pattern. It is important to maintain good situational awareness and plan entry into the pattern with consideration for other traffic already present. In summary, the reasoning behind selecting option A, should be avoided, is that descending entries into traffic patterns create specific collision hazards. Pilots should strive to enter the traffic pattern at a consistent altitude to reduce the risk of conflicts and ensure safe operations. 2007-1. Inbound to an airport with no tower, FSS, or UNICOM in operation, a pilot should self-announce on MULTICOM frequency? A. 123.0. B. 122.9. C. 122.7. The correct answer is B. When inbound to an airport with no tower, flight service station, FSS, or UNICOM in operation, a pilot should self-announce on the MULTICOM frequency of 122.9 MHz. The reasoning behind this answer is that the MULTICOM frequency of 122.9 MHz is designated as a common frequency for non-towered airports and areas without dedicated communication services. It serves as a means for pilots to communicate their intentions and coordinate with other aircraft in the vicinity. By self-announcing on the MULTICOM frequency, pilots can inform other pilots in the area of their position, intentions, and any relevant information such as their approach, landing, or departure plans. This helps maintain situational awareness and promotes safety by allowing pilots to share information and avoid conflicts. 2007-2. Inbound to an airport with no tower, FSS, or UNICOM in operation, a pilot should self-announce on MULTICOM frequency? A. 20 miles out. B. 10 miles out. C. 5 miles out. The correct answer is B. When inbound to an airport with no tower, flight service station, FSS, or UNICOM in operation, a pilot should self-announce on the MULTICOM frequency approximately 10 miles out from the airport. Making a self-announcement at 10 miles out provides other pilots in the area with sufficient notice of your position and intentions as you approach the airport. This allows for coordination and helps maintain situational awareness to avoid conflicts. Announcing at 10 miles out strikes a balance between providing enough advance notice and avoiding excessive radio congestion or confusion. It gives other aircraft in the vicinity time to adjust their operations and maintain safe separation. In summary, when inbound to an airport with no tower, FSS, or UNICOM in operation, a pilot should make a self-announcement on the MULTICOM frequency approximately 10 miles out from the airport. This timing allows for effective coordination and situational awareness among pilots in the area. 3778. The numbers 9 and 27 on a runway indicate that the runway is oriented approximately A. 0090 and 0270 true. B. 0900 and 2700 true. C. 0900 and 2700 magnetic. The correct answer is C. The numbers 9 and 27 on a runway indicate that the runway is oriented approximately 0900 and 2700 magnetic. Runway numbers are based on the magnetic heading of the runway's center line. The numbers represent the magnetic heading rounded to the nearest 10 degrees. In this case, the number 9 corresponds to an orientation close to 090 degrees magnetic, while the number 27 corresponds to an orientation close to 270 degrees magnetic. These numbers help pilots identify the direction of the runway and align their approach and departure accordingly. In summary, the numbers 9 and 27 on a runway indicate an approximate magnetic orientation of 0900 and 2700, respectively.